Friday, February the 3rd, 2023, and here I am back again, about to undertake my first recorded walk of the year. A combination of inclement weather and rail strikes have prevented me getting out previously. Even today there's a rail strike, so I'm local. Weather isn't bad, it's quite mild, about 13 degrees at the moment, and there's no rain forecast. So as I say, I'm local, Hertfordshire, doing a 10-mile North Herts Ramblers walk, a circular of Harpenden, e-walk167, but I'm starting it here in Kimpton, and this is the recreation ground car park. So little has changed in the 6 weeks since I last recorded. Still got the same camera, which I am going to replace shortly though. I've found a suitable replacement, another Panasonic, and I've still got the same boots, although I have found a suitable replacement pair as well, Mindall Comfort Fit, which are very pricey, but currently unavailable. Unbelievable, isn't it? They're waiting a shipment from Germany, but as I said previously, they are expensive, but they should see me out. The neuroma's still there, and I saw a consultant in the week, and he says it could do with cutting out really, but I find from experience that consultants, I reckon they're on commission, they always want to operate. Anyway, that's enough of my woes. Let's get cracking. It's about 12:15 now. Sunset today is around 5 o'clock, 16:52 actually. So let's press on and see what awaits. The car park's a couple of hundred yards from the start of the walk, well, where I'm joining the GPX track, and this initial section near the Boot pub, Kimpton, and the village school is duplication of a walk I've done in Kimpton previously, so there will be a little bit of duplication. And this initial ascent is the start of that duplication. Looking down on Kimpton, about 500 foot here, and the church is being refurbished, as you can see. Got a westerly wind today, which is why it's quite mild, and the occasional strong gust, so I'll try not to film in one to avoid noise interference, which should be massively reduced with the new camcorder when I get it. Again, stock issues, this time from Japan. Now, as you can hear in the background, birds are already starting to mark out their territories and sing. Valentine's Day obviously only 12 days away. Well, sorry, can't add up. 11 days away. So they are pairing up already. Now at this juncture, my previous walk went off left there, I do remember. So this section here, if I recall correctly, will be new terrain. About 5 minutes into the walk here. Which incidentally I'm doing anti-clockwise to enable me to take lunch at the only church on this walk at Batford, near Harpenden. Further views over western Kimpton, as you can hear in the background, we are in the flight path for Luton Airport, which isn't very far away at all. As you can see here, catkins are out. Join a quiet lane here, hopefully, which takes us to a place called Porter's End on the map. It's getting a bit cloudier now. Passing the grand Porter's End house on my left. Looks like these hedges have recently been trimmed, which of course is the right time of year to do it. Jan, Feb, before the birds start nesting and after the berries have gone. Well done. And also some attempt has been made to do them in the right way as well, i.e. a kind of triangle shape at the top, leaving it thick at the base. Although this section of road walking is quite long, I haven't passed one vehicle at the moment, so that's good. Might be different at school closing time, mind you. Continue on down Macquarie End here. Okay, eventually we come off the lane and take this footpath on the left, footpath 32, headed towards Turnashall Farm on the map. And there's another waste of money from Herts County Council. Where does this path go? If you've got a smartphone and you're going to scan that code there, you've probably got OS maps on your phone anyway, so you will know where it goes. So that's a complete waste of time, and yet they won't currently acknowledge my footpath reporting via what 3 words, and I'll come back to that when I discover a problem to be reported on this walk, if indeed I do. First style of the day, but pretty much redundant really. Passing Turnashall Farm. Okay, here we go. Didn't take me long to find something that needed reporting, and following the demise of Pathwatch, as I continually mourn, I have discovered that what 3 words is a more than adequate reporting tool. So anyone watching this video, please use what 3 words to report situations like this. People just do not have the time to report these things online when they get home, and they've probably forgotten about it unless they're Jobsworth with a pencil and pad. It's far easier to do it with what 3 words. You go to photo mode, take a photo of this, it will give the what 3 words address, but in addition to that I strongly advise in settings that you use eastings and northings, because then that gives the council no excuse for saying that the address was incorrect and it's someplace in California. So eastings and northings are British grid reference system. It can't be anywhere else, so I back mine up with that, and then I send an email or WhatsApp message. But currently very few local authorities have a mobile phone number for doing that, and similarly very few have an email address, because they all want you to do what I've just said, report it when you get home online. But that is no good whatsoever. People won't bother, and things like this won't get reported. So I shall report this now, but currently Hertfordshire County Council, Tony Bradford, who I've had a conversation with, refuses to accept the reports. And as I've said before, it's because they're going to get inundated with work. But that's tough. That's what they're paid to do. That's what we pay excessive council tax for. And we want things in the countryside working. So please report using what 3 words? Herts County Council are one of the few, incidentally, that do have an email address, ROW at Hertfordshire County Council or something to that effect. Easy to find on their website, ironically. But yeah, if they get inundated with reports, they'll have to accept this as a reporting system. And in any case, it's my contention that they should accept these reports anyway, because they're under a legal obligation to do so. Doesn't matter how something is reported. If it's reported and you have evidence of doing so, it's then down to them. So let's get cracking with this. What 3 words? I'm not a salesman for what 3 words, but I just like the technology. It's perfect for what I do, reporting wise. ROW at hertfordshire.gov.uk in this particular instance. When I get into other counties, I'm not quite sure where I will send it. Probably to the Chief Executive, because I'm not going to report online when I get back later using that antiquated system. Technology's moved on and they need to catch up. Right, let's press on. That little job took about 2 minutes. Less than my waffling on about it, but it needs to be advertised. Okay, the GPX creator even, didn't go across this field, as you should do per the map, but went right here and along the field edge. Not sure when the GPX track was created, but it could have been either in deepest winter when it was muddy, not too bad today, or in summer when they couldn't cross for whatever reason. But anyway, the onward journey is footpath 29 here, with a very useful no cycling symbol there. Quite right so, it's a footpath. Does actually look like this fencing is quite new, and I wonder if there's going to be some building going on here. Yet another bit of green belt lost. Future walkers will be able to note that, as I'm unlikely to be returning. Wonderful to hear a song thrush back in song. Well, at least I think it is. It might be the missile, because it's not repeating notes. Yeah, it's a song. Or was a song. Not the missile. Now in Harpenden Town Council District, about to follow footpath 27A, just beside the Macquarie estate here. Passing a school on my right in Batford, on the fringes of Harpenden, so lunch is not too far off now. So there you go, we're in Batford. So a little bit of road walking here, not too much. Crossing over the River Lee, I do believe. Lovely collection of snowdrops on the bank over there. They'll soon be passing over, unfortunately. because I've missed most of January, and I can also say that the aconites are out and they'll soon be passing over. So by missing January out, I do miss quite a lot of goings on. So here we go, just about to pass through Batford Springs Nature Reserve on footpath 35 here. Information panel here about Batford Springs Nature Reserve. Google that if you're interested. Other search engines do exist. Telling us all about the reed beds. Now the GPX track starts somewhere near here, so I'm going to vary the track slightly by continuing alongside the riverbank. There are also picnic tables ahead of me there on the left, which is interesting for a nice summer day. But I'm continuing to the church, as is my wont. It's not much further on. There you go, there are 3 or 4 plus some seats up on the bank there. So that must be where they parked, not sure, when they started this walk. Another information panel here telling us about what you might see here. Kingfisher, barbel, and it is the River Lee, as I thought. Also gudgeon amongst the fish. So that's another walk that I've been on at various points in Hertfordshire. There is an egret over there. As I've mentioned in the past, they tend to favour chalk streams, and I was astonished to hear on the news the other day, particularly with the River Wye, I think it was, down in South Wales, how disgustingly dirty our chalk streams are. Pretty rare. We have most of the world's population of chalk streams, around 200 in the world. We've got about 175, and they are in a pretty bad state of affairs. Brown trout dying, all down to that what was it, sewage outlet down there on the River Wye? Can't remember. Anyway, it's shocking, considering their rarity value. A final information panel, and it wasn't sewerage directly, it was those chicken farms, that's right, pouring their slurry into the river. Absolutely outrageous. Phosphorus, which is what comes rolling off the fields as well, the same chemical. It's also what you get in toothpaste, and is why you shouldn't really use fluoride. The effects of phosphorus in your teeth or on your teeth via fluoride are horrendous. Have a look into that if you're interested. Okay, this church is not what I was expecting. It's not a nice oldie worldy one with a cemetery, although I do spy a seat over there, thankfully. This is the All Saints Church, Batford. And a sign of the times there. So I won't be going in this church today because it's far too modern and uninteresting, really. And besides which, there's people in there, obviously. First of the crocuses I've seen this year, in amongst more snowdrops. Right, let's take this bench in memory of Gladys Barker, who was a war baby, 1917 to 1996. God rest your soul, Miss Barker, and thanks for the seat. It's around 2 o'clock, so good timing. Okay, just coming up 2:45, lunch has been had, and I've had better views from my lunchtime bench, but that's the spice of life, I guess. Variety. Sun is still shining, that's the main thing. It certainly wasn't forecast, once again, by our ever reliable Met. Quite a few insects flying around today, I noticed, because it's quite mild, but they'll be in for a shock next week when the temperatures forecast to drop again. So after walking through a residential area past a school, we now join footpath 61 thus, and hopefully now that will be it in terms of built up area until I get back. Now walking through woodland alongside Sauncey Wood Lane, and there's that common sound in February, the great tit call. If you can make that out above the jet noise in the background. Wonderful to hear again, and I can't believe it's 12 months since I last mentioned it. How that year has flown. Nice little strip of birch. I think it's hornbeam or beech as well in here. And plenty of holly. Now entering more woodland by a place called Bower Heath on the map. And then we arrive in King's Heath Park on the map, which essentially is a very nice chalet park. And opposite that, the entrance to it, you come off the road and onto a footpath. Number 30, only a mile to Luton. Parting view of Harpenden. Can't go any further right because of the sun. You got the East Midlands railway line over there, St Pancras to Sheffield, and of course today that's as dead as a doornail. Thanks to ASLEF, and the RMT were given a pay offer at least 10 days ago and they haven't come back on it yet. I mean, that sums them up really. What are they waiting for? What do they expect to get as well? Got no sympathy for them whatsoever. Overpaid, underworked. Decent afternoon now. Plenty of kites around as well. Now looking at the map, there was an option to come through this wood, wall wood, on the map, and on a windy day that might be appropriate. It's fairly breezy today, but the view was probably why the walk editor chose that version. But there are two options there if you look at the map. Very nice mixed woodland as well by the looks of it. There you can see a small jet coming into land at Luton. Quite quiet, that one. We will be heading nearer the airport, unfortunately. There must be 24 kites in that field flying over it, so obviously something that they fancy in the soil, because they seem to be going down into the soil. I know they eat slugs and things like that as well as carrion. just by Great Cuts farmhouse here on the map. We follow footpath number 52 at this 4-finger post through more woodland. So as you can see, footpath 52 is a footpath, yet we have the old enemy horses using it. It's not a bridleway. Unless of course it's the actual landowner, and of course he can do what he likes. But I wouldn't have expected him to be churning up the footpath system. Yeah, lovely, eh? The calm before the storm, which apparently starts on Monday. A mini beast from the east? I hope not. Not with fuel costs the way they are. Okay, having just passed Lower Cuts Farm, now take restricted byway 5 towards Wheathampstead here, with a whole bunch of notices on it. Now, as I've mentioned to DEFRA, another good idea, I think, would be to have all these footpath modifications, closures, etc. on one centralised database, as you get on a sat-nav with live traffic reports and road closures. I mean, if they can do it with the road system, again, rights of way should be able to do it with footpath closures and modifications. It's just, you know, they're so incompetent and inefficient in these departments, it's just ridiculous. And I don't want to hear the tale about understaffed, because it's just not true. They just don't like working. Anyway, those notifications are about alterations to the naming of these footpaths, byways to highways, highways to restricted byways, etc. It annoys me because, as I found with that walk, that very foggy walk a couple of months back down in the Thames Valley, it's not until you get on the walk that you come across a footpath closure. Whereas if it was all online, you could look ahead and defer the walk, looking at the dates given for that path's closure. Nothing worse than travelling a couple of hours on the train and then finding the walk is ruined simply because of a footpath closure. Not in this day and age. So as you can see from these two roundels, I'm on the very border of Central Beds jurisdiction and Hertfordshire. Civil parish of St Peter's runs along the byway that I'm about to follow, which is actually maintained by Central Beds. Well, it is actually a public footpath, not a byway, and once again horses are using it. Now passing the very Spartan round wood on my left. Nonetheless, plenty of songs in there. Song thrush. There you go. Blackbird. Blue tit. Great tit's not there though, unusually. Peter's Green over there on my right, which we will be passing through shortly. So close to the airport here, as you can likely hear. Looks like a yellow hammer. warning note. You could continue up that lane, Hyde Lane there, to get to where we need to be in St Peter's. However, GPX track goes this way straight ahead, so that's where I'm headed. So that little extension to the Burnham Farm on the map here brings us onto the Chiltern Way footpath, which takes us into Peters Green ahead. The Burnham Farm here behind me. Even properties this close to the airport take no time in selling. Passing the Bright Star, the McMullen pub, which interestingly has a white horse sign in the garden. Now in the small adjoining hamlet of Perry Green, and as you can see, the little Baptist chapel there. And our onward journey is along this public bridleway 51 to Ansells End, a mile hence. Another jet coming into land at Luton. Good old EasyJet, eh? Another little bit of lane walking up into Ansells End. Good old farmer, he's reinstated the path. Highly unusual in this area anyway, so good on him. So that's footpath 37 now. I'm just about to cross across a pretty extensive field. Kimpton over there in the distance, my finishing point. You see, that's all it takes, 2 heavy tractor tyres across the field, and it saves his crop from getting damaged, people wandering all over the place, and makes life a whole heap easier for us. Imagine trying to traipse across this. Oh dear, it'd be like World War I. The muddy fields in Belgium. A solitary bench there, but I can see why. Pretty decent vista. Got a decent farmer here, because not only did he do what he did with the tractor tyres earlier, but he's also left this strip of green across what is an extensive field. He could easily have ploughed that in and left us to face the consequences, but no, he has given a lot of thought to walkers here. Good on him. Nearly in Kimpton now, as it gets a bit gloomy. Not far till sunset, and that's good as well. We've got a permissive footpath, the Chris Baker Way, into the village, rather than walking down this quite busy road here. As you can see, lots of new housing in Kimpton. Very popular little village now, twixt Hitchin Harpenden, Luton and St Albans. I used to go to school with kids from Kimpton. I'm now off the GPX track, following a footpath back to the car park. So here we are. I can't give you the usual times and distances because I forgot to turn my tracker on shortly after making that footpath report. Turned it off and then forgot to switch it back on, but I know the walk was 10.2 miles per the GPS track, so I'm going to go with that today. And around 4.5 hours, it's like 5 o'clock on the button now, church bell has just rung. So I started around 12:30. Yeah, not a bad walk actually for Hertfordshire. Jet noise wasn't too problematic, wasn't too muddy either, which is interesting because we've had quite a lot of rain lately. Another decent offering by North Herts Ramblers. As usual with them though, fair amount of road walking, albeit quiet country lanes, which obviously some of those walks were created a decade ago and the roads have got a lot busier since then, so maybe some revamp of these GPS tracks, as I've said before, is required. Varying them, altering the path a bit so that they're more off-road. In any case, it's good to be back. And you can see the moon's out now. Just sunset, what, about 10 minutes ago, and about another half-hour walking time possible. So that was e-walk167, which is a duplicate or very similar to another North Herts Ramblers Harpenden walk, I notice. So I won't be doing the alternate version, but I will be doing, hopefully in the not too distant, a Peter's Green walk, because I checked that one out as well. Similar distance, similar terrain, also with the airport not too far away either. But as you've heard today, not too bad. Not as bad as when you get down into Sussex with Gatwick. So, good to be back, good to get some fresh air again. Limbs will no doubt ache later, but hey ho, need to get the old joints oiled again. It's a little bit further than I walk normally locally, so and carrying a day pack, but hopefully some new boots will be on my feet soon and a new camcorder will be in my hand. So until the next time, take care.